Okay, so episode 3, I don't think I really gave a fair chance. It's all out of. Sorry. Episode 3, I don't think I really gave a fair chance. So I actually took notes this time to try to actually get a sense of what was going on. First thing I noticed in episode 4 is the sky wall just does not seem to matter at all when they can literally just take a boat and go around. Like, all of Japan has a huge wall splitting into thirds, and you can't cross the wall, but you could just like go around it. So seems really unnecessary, honestly. So what I usually do before I end up seeing the episode is I go on the wiki just to see. So the way I usually label them is, instead of putting the episode title, I put like what form appears first in that episode. And this is the first time that they didn't introduce a best match, which is good because you're only going to have so many of those anyway, so it was bound to happen. First episode, you obviously get Rabbit Tank. That's just going to happen. It's the first episode. That's his base form. And then after that, you have Gorilla Diamond, and then Hot Gatling. Not a huge fan of Hot Gatling, but they showed Rabbit Gatling, and it was decent. I'm trying to write down notes, like, to really see what's happening, because I'm bad with the Japan words. So they split up Japan into 3 sections: Seito, Hokuto, and Toto. And Toto is where Build lives, where Sento and Ryuga and all of them live. So I usually label it based on what best matches would happen, and I didn't get that, but I was very curious because they introduced a bottle, the Ninja bottle, and I'm like, well, is he just gonna like double up on that, become Ninja? Which I'm sure something like that is going to happen later on, but no. And what's weird is they even introduced the idea of double doses, like the Cobra guy and the Bat guy. Why didn't I write their names? I think one of them is Bloodstark. I wrote notes and they're not good. So they inject one of the monsters with 2 of a thing. So I think it's interesting. I didn't connect the dots as I was watching it, but during the next time on segment, I figured it out, because I'm not no dumb. Yeah, this character, this monster guy, he's all blocky, and he has the ability to like take blocks out. Like, imagine if I just plucked an entire shelf out and threw it at you, and it was all like rotoscoped on, and so I'm trying to figure out in my mind while I'm watching, like, what is that guy's power, if all the monsters are based on the powers, and it's comic books. Next week we're gonna see the best match of Ninja comics. So why? Yeah, I didn't get a whole lot of notes done. It was dumb with me. So here's the thing, is Build shows up in X-Aid and says, oh, I'm a pacifist, blah, blah, and kills Jinem like immediately. But we're pretty sure that he only said, despite all this, I'm actually a pacifist, just because he was in the pacifist subnation of Toto. But then doesn't that imply that X-Aid took place all within like one of these subnations, because it was separated by the walls? And in fact, going further, if we're going to lead into the next decade, where the 9 previous, we have Double O's Forze, Wizard, Gaim, Drive, Ghost, X8, and Build, so 9, and then 10. if we do lead up into a next decade where all the different stories are interconnected, how is that going to work with the build separating Japan into three subnations of Seto, Hokuto, and Toto? Some people have speculated online that they're just going to reveal like all the different Kamen Riders were already separated into subnations of Japan, and just their fictional cities are just going to line up. They're going to show a big map and they're going to put little Kamen Rider heads on it to designate what took place where, which would probably mean, like, for example, Seto is the nation that's based on currency and wealth, so put O's there because of all the weird Scott Pilgrim coins dropping everywhere. Another thing, though, that's interesting is when I need to write better notes. When Ryuga shows up in Seto, him and the girl he's with get a van to drive them around, and also were kindly given Seto currency, which implies that not only is Japan separated into three subnations that you can easily travel from a boat to get to the next area, but each subsection of Japan, Seto, Hokuto, and Toto, are also separated by different currencies, which would be like if you went from California to Oregon and had to turn all of your money into Oregon money. But not, I think the closest metaphor would be if you were going from one of the islands of Hawaii to a different island of Hawaii by boat, and then had to exchange all of your currency at the next island. Japan is a small nation after all. I don't know. Build is getting better, and I'm gonna have to keep watching. Just the themes